5 students were initially taken by 8 attackers, said to be Fulani Malaysian men, but they dropped 2 of the captive on their way out of the school. One of them had a cut on his head and was bleeding. Dabo said the attack happened about 7 p.m. after mass at the chapel. They met 5 strangers at the chapel, and hundreds of others had departed to their hostels or the dining hall. They probably targeted the mass at the chapel, but they came after it ended. The situation could have been worse. He also said one of the 3 captives is asthmatic. The police command public relation officer ASP Mohammed Jali, collaborating the claim, said 3 students had been abducted. He's a Muslim now, so he knows about the kidnapping. It is their plan. 3 Sumerians were kidnapped by suspected kidnappers on Monday evening, he said. However, said the commissioner of police in the state had directed the deployment of more police personnel to condone the nearby bushes, which a view of rescuing the victim. All these things are just rubbish, the police officer is saying. Didn't we read the news about the movement of ISWAP and Boko Haram from northeast towards Kaduna State? We read the news here is happening. What do they do now? Nothing. They gather the intel. They gather. We must tell you that. Very, very important. This is Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2 coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London under the leadership of one and only Onyendu Mazi Nwachineke Ohamadike, one of Biafra land. Let's see this news. Just as I was said, this is from Omuchuku Writers, and they said Nigerian army planning to attack Kwapala community. They can't talk because they are afraid. You see the level. As for me, they wouldn't have gathered for that meeting so that they wouldn't showcase that thing to the world, blaming their own people. They have killed them, burned their houses. You are not going to receive any allocation. Nobody's going to help you. So why would I succumb to such a thing? At the end of the day, maybe your son, your daughter, your wife, your mother, whoever is dead, and your house have been raised. And you know it very well that not even 1 naira compensation will come to you. Not even $1, not a dime will be given to you. Why will I go in such a meeting and talk in the public and press will carry it as if I'm in support of the government, as if I am the one who has done worst, whereby it is the government that brought the evil to me? We need to think. That is why it's not every meeting they call you'll attend. If you know that the meeting will influence you, you won't be able to speak your mind. You stay away from the meeting. You don't need to go there. Popu Zodimma has caused evil. You don't need to assemble wherever he calls you. He's an evil man. Now they are planning another one in Ngokpala. We must know what to do. Umuchukwu writers received series of reports from indigenous of Ngokpala community on how Fulani herdsmen are destroying their farmland, threatening to kill them if the community failed to allow them graze on their farm. I thought that open grazing had been banned. I thought we have said no more open grazing in our land, in Southern Zoological Republic. Why all these things? Look at it here. This caused fracas between Fulani herdsmen and Okpala indigene. On the process, Fulani herdsmen stabbed one of the youth in the community during confrontation. You see, Fulani all the way from Mauritius, all the way from Niger, all the way from Chad, Fulani all the way from wherever, I don't know, Central African Republic, moved down to Ngokpala and take knife and stab Nwafo, an indigene, the son of the soil, in his own land, defending his crop. Not that the guy did anything for them or whatever, just because this guy in his own strength, he has went to farm, labor, toil the soil, under the sun, under the moon, under the rain, under everything. He toiled. After toiling, Fulani from nowhere brought his cow to destroy it, and this child revolted over it. Then Fulani take dagger, take his sword, and stab this young man. That is what is happening in Ngokpala, and people have to react. Let's continue to listen. Let's continue. On the process, Fulani herdsmen stabbed one of the youth in the community during the confrontation. So the youth mobilized and chased Fulani herdsmen away from the community, which is the normal thing. This angered herdsmen and they informed the army. Have you seen it, that it is jihad? These people, our leader told you that they are their foot soldiers. They will use the cow to enter them before the military will come. And that is playing out. You see, everything our leader have said is what is happening. Few hours later, Nigerian army arrived the community in commando way, listening in commando way to kill innocent citizens in commando way and start patrolling the community, intimidating youth, threatening to kill anyone stopping Fulani herdsmen from grazing in the community, using a zombie massacre as an example of what will happen to Okpala people. Are you listening? Okpala, I think it should be, is it in Imo State or in Abia State? You see the useless governor. The military is telling you now they dress in commando, pure war, to come and kill innocent citizens, that they should not disturb the Fulani grazing in their land. I thought open grazing has been banned. I thought that there is a law for anti-open grazing. What is happening? If people revolted now out of anger now, they will kill the people. The soldiers are there to defend them. And you want us to drop our gun. You want us to drop our gun, right? You want us to drop our gun. You don't want us to agitate anymore. Look at what is happening. This one is in Ngokpala. Is in Ngokpala. Could be Imo State or Abia State. Look at what is happening now. The farm of the people, they are trying to defend their farm. And look at what is happening. The soldiers has come to defend them in our own land, courtesy of the governors. You see why we need to start killing politicians. Had it been since governor, the governor, brother, at least therefore, my wouldn't have been coming and talking rubbish. Okepeke would be very scared of moving in the city. That is why we are saying, buy your own gun. You could be in your shop to see him passing. You don't need to wait for any unknown gunman. You become that unknown gunman. You blow him there. Brother, this is the only radical way we can restore our place. When they are afraid of moving, they don't know who is who. As they are shooting sporadic, when they come into a city or town or village, is it not what they do? They start killing everybody. If we activate this way, I'm telling you, brothers, things will change. Look at Ngopala now. Before you know it now, you will hear, because people can't, I cannot just take the risk, suffer, go to farm, toil, no government help, nothing, hoping in my farm to harvest it, and one idiot carry his cattle and come into our land, and you want me to keep quiet. Definitely there will be uproar. And on that note now, this commando, they say they dress in a commando to come and kill innocent people. This commando now will activate, and they will be killing your brothers and sisters. You see why we must rise? You see why we must fight? Brother, you see why you must get ready, get angry at all time, and think of what to do. What is it that I'm going to do to make sure that this thing comes to an end? What is it that I'm going to do to make sure that we liberate ourselves? My dear brothers, what is that are you going to do? You must do that. You must. You must do that. We must do that. We must support ESN, and we must buy our own gun. Listen again. Few hours later, Nigerian army arrived the community in a commando way and start patrolling the community, intimidating youths, threatening to kill anyone, stopping Fulani herdsmen from grazing in the community, using Izombe massacre as an example of what will happen to Okpala people. Confirmed report has it that people in the area has deserted the place because of fear of being slaughtered by the Nigerian army. Are you hearing it? Are you seeing it? Are you hearing it? This is a report from our desk. Are you hearing it? We have governor. We have members of House of Assembly, State House, National House, representative. All of them are their ministers, wherever. They don't care what is happening in their constituency. All they are interested, Fulani, go on, give me the money, go on, give me the money. Brother, until we stop them eating that money, until we put bullets in their body, until we begin to deal with these people that are blocking our way. I'm telling you, politicians is the problem. Politicians is the problem. How can you say, just for example now, I am for IPOB, working for IPOB. I am employed or signed or called to do this work I'm doing, to broadcast. Then as I enter the radio, I begin to castigate the IPOB, begin to castigate our leader, begin to say, that is what they are doing. Or somebody will bring information against IPOB, then, and I will be streaming it, silencing everything of IPOB. This is exactly what your politicians are doing. They don't care about whatever, because that person will give me money, say, go to Radio Biafra during your broadcast, talk against your people. Then I will take the money, and that is what politicians are doing. Most of us can't figure this thing. But still, when you see them, you call them Your Excellency, smiling and clapping hands. They call you for conference, you go. They call for this, you come. You do this. They are the problem. These are the demons you are binding and casting out in your various churches. Stop binding and casting demons. Destroy this physical one. If you destroy this physical one, that is the end. The demon will flee away. Telling you the truth. Telling you the truth. Confirmed report has it that the people in the area has deserted the place because of the fear of being slaughtered by the Nigerian army. The public should take note of this intended evil Nigerian army is planning in Okpala. As I type now, Okpala community is under siege by Nigerian army. Nigerian military should stay away from Biafra land. We haven't committed any crime. This intimidation going on is not acceptable in our land. This is from Family Writers. You can see what is going on. You can see what is going on. These are courtesy of the politicians. Courtesy of the politicians. Just as I told you, be stand by, and I will bring in one of the high profile in this broadcast, and there will be an interview. Very, very important. You must not go out. You must be part of this interview. You must listen. But meanwhile, let's see one or two reactions that is going on. Ifan Yuba is campaigning in Lagos. Look at the mindset of our politician. The so-called politician. Let's say, for example, now, if Ifan Yuba wins election in Anambra, look at the mindset he used to rule you. In Lagos, the same Lagos we are crying, return back some of your property in Igbo land, so that Igbo land will develop, so that the spirit of our people will return back home than living home. That is the same place the so-called potential candidate of a gubernatorial election of a whole Anambra, the beginning of the entire Igbo, is campaigning in the same Lagos. He can't campaign in his home because home is not good. Fix your home, Kuma. They will not, brother. They can never come and fix the home. Who caused the problem in the home? They themselves. And he ran to Lagos. Our people don't have shame. Brothers and sisters, until I akuziere the politician until we teach them how to be ashamed of yourself. In Lagos, Ifeanyi Oba is campaigning in Lagos to rule Anambra State in Igbo land. Now, if you have seen it, I don't know, you come and tell me. Ifeanyi Oba is campaigning his election in Anambra State, Anambra State election in Lagos State. I don't know what is wrong with our brain. Our people can't rise up over this thing. He is doing the campaign in Lagos instead of in the state because he knows that the land is not good. Then, as a stakeholder, what will I do to put the place in order so that I will do it exactly in my land? Nothing, no action, no effort, nothing. If this man becomes the governor now, that is how he will rule the state. If he will have the mindset of doing campaign in Lagos, his administration will be away, whatever. This same man was the man who won election with from, is it YPP? I think that is the same party he's contesting now. Immediately, it's not up to 1 week, he switched to APC. He switched to APC, support APC. He got the strength from another political party. It's not up to 1 week. This man switched to APC. Okay, look at all the good things he has done for APC by supporting the senatorial strength from Anambra State. Then why is it that the so-called APC did not choose him to be the APC candidate? In Anambra, now he has returned back to that, is it YPP, Kingsley Moaruse party. He has returned there now to contest for governor. Let's say, for example, he win governor in a YPP or whatever. He will now return back to AP. You see how we are serving Fulani. You see how useless our people are. Tomorrow you say this one na governor. This one go do this. This one go do. Person who don't have the thinking, the brain to stop conflict. If you don't have the wisdom to settle conflict, forget about that somebody is rich. Rich in Nigeria is in an illegal way. So you can make money at any time. If you don't have the wisdom to settle conflict as an administrator or wherever you domicile or whoever, you are a leader here, you are a manager, you are coordinator, you are this. You don't have the wisdom to settle conflict. It will come. Challenges will come. But the ability to settle it is what makes you a leader. So this man is not qualified to be whatever he's claiming. He became as he won the senatorial post, he just switched to APC. Listen, let me remind you something again. Last year, yes, it was last year. Either last year or last 2 years. Last year, $22.7 billion contract of railway. The money was borrowed for this railway station. The whole Nigeria has a link from south, as they divide south, southwest, north, and whatever, got a link. None of this link connected the southeast, not one, as big as Onitsha is. Buhari's government could not think of connecting Onitsha with any of the train station. Do you know that in the chamber, immediately they mentioned it? Ifeanyi Oba was the first person who stand up to approve it. His own area, his own region, we are not connected. I want you to see the mindset of the people that are ruling you. Tomorrow you will be helping, you have hope that they will do something. He's in the chamber. Money that was borrowed. Remember that what's his name? The Senator Ebaribe condemned that. But this man that is campaigning in Lagos now was the one who supported it immediately in the chamber. And they are coming to be your governor. They are coming to be your governor. They have released Chiwetelago. They have released Chiwetelago. And they will continue to release him. Very, very important. This is Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2 coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London under the leadership of one and only Onyendu Mazi Nwachineke, one of Biafra land. Just as I told you, there will be, I will bring in a high-profile person in the struggle. I will mention his name when I am connected. It is time for me to bring him in, and I will ask you just to stand by. Don't go. Be part of the interview. Very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important.
Wakada lobya monavago.
Onya dalubya manavago. Eja meyam bilini nudonwe.
Onya weleko no ni ba.
Agara chanwi benehu. Ohumu benehu ni.
Chagwa me kambolo bya monavago mo anava.
Agara chanwi benehu ngbangba. Eja meyam white bonganwe.
Makana lono ki ba bya.
Osa igbe maraja nulo.
Kama sai wa igbe magaba.
Eja meyam bilini nudonwe.
Maka ilu wa igbe mbodo.
Eja meyam bilini nudonwe.
Kamo Joseph ya yidiego.
Robotu wana jinkwa waja nulo.
Makana lono ki ba bya.
Eja meyam bilini nudonwe.
Kamo robotu ngo benecho.
Robotu wana jinkwa waja nulo.
Makana lono ki ba bya.
Eja meyam bilini nudonwe. Eja meyam bilini nudonwe. Eja meyam bilini nudonwe. Ukula kuna bajo tundu anago. Eja meyam bilini nudonwe. Odogu utogu alele. Ewo deni kumu akili. Eja meyam bilini nudonwe. Wachi muve onuwe. Ndekolole olole. Ndekolole olole. Ndekolole olole. Ewo muwe mene kili. Imana nyige bebe nudo nudo. Nudo. Asino bobo na tekuebe. Omudi na nwunye na tekuebe. Onye riegu jezuwe kwebu. Nwoke n'oligati mjanulo. Dogu waibezu n'oligati. Imawe zando janulo.
Hey. Onye dona nwa kaka n'ọdụ, mọdụ ndụ gbanwụrụ ahụ. Eastern Security Network, ọkwa ha nọrọ onwe ha, ndị abịa ebulu ọgụ wee bịaba. Ndị na-eche ndị Igbo nche, ọkwa ha nọrọ onwe ha, ndị abịa ebulu ọgụ wee bịaba. Mana ọ bụ gịnị ka anyị na-anụzi? Ndị amị ha nọ n'ọsọ. Ọ bụ gịnị ka anyị na-anụ? Ndị amị ha nọ n'ọsọ. Akwa onye ọbụla nọ n'ọsọ. Ndị amị ha nọ n'ọsọ. Na ndị amị biko ejene. Ndị amị biko ejene. Ndị amị ejebe. Egbusizienụ ndị amị ụmụ ụwa eje na-atụ onye ụta, brọda m. Ekwu melọnụ o, ekwu ọnụ gị na meloti ọkụkọ ntị ike na ife n'ikpove. Eastern Security jisie n'ike n'ọlụ. Ndị uche ndị Igbo jisie n'ike n'ọlụ famekwenu mana mmeri bụ nke anyị ife sọlụ fame anyị enwe mmeri mana ọ bụ gịnị ka anyị na-anụzi Dami ha nọ n'ọsọ ọ bụ gịnị ka anyị na-anụzi Dami ha nọ n'ọsọ ọ bụ gịnị ka na-akọzi ifene Dami ha nọ n'ọsọ.
This is Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2 coming to you from the platform of Radio Biafra London under the leadership of one and only Onyendu Mazi Nwachineke, Ohamadike, one of Biafra land. Our leader Mazi Nwachineke is the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's the director of Radio Biafra and her television, and he's the commander of the armies of Biafra. And this broadcast is coming to you from me, a servant of the Most High, a servant of the indigenous people of Biafra, and a proud disciple of our leader in the person of Nwachineke. Just as I said, I am bringing in a high-profile person in this struggle, in the person of the deputy head of the Directorate of State, in the person of Mazi Nwachineke. Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi Nwachineke, are you with me? I can't hear you. Hello, Mazi, are you with me? Not yet connected. Okay, let me see what is happening. Just still stand by. Let me see what is happening since the line is not connecting. I just spoke with him right now. Hello, Mazi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mazi.
Loud and clear. Sorry for disturbing you this early morning, but it is one of those things. This is a Mazi Nwachineke, the deputy head of the Directorate of the Indigenous People of Biafra, speaking with us here on Radio Biafra Hausa Service 2. But before we go on, Mazi, I would like you to introduce yourself officially, your real name and your position, as I don't have the full details.
Right. Thank you very much. And of course, good early morning from here. My name is Mazi Nwachineke. I hail from Owerri. I do reside in Germany, and I serve the indigenous people of Biafra, the very great people of Biafra, as their servant in the capacity of the deputy head of the Directorate of State. And of course, I want to greet all Biafrans, all listeners from all walks of lives. I want to thank Chukwokika Biama for this very opportunity. And that whatever is going on now, we must remain focused, we must remain resilient. At this point, Mazi, I will give you back the microphone in case you had some other follow-ups. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mazi. Without not wasting time, we'll just go straight to the business of the day. I just want you to introduce yourself officially, how people knows you, because I just know you with that English name, which I know you don't, you are not comfortable with it. Thank you very much for being part of this program. Mazi, let's look into our struggle at this moment. The main issue now is the court case. The court case that is coming up on 21st of this month, and I will say that it is about 8 days to the main event. First of all, let me go in this way. How prepared are we? How prepared are we for the main event? For example, when I'm talking of how prepared, there was a broadcast. The head of the directorate, our head, said if they refuse to present our leader on that day, bringing him out, that we are going to lock Biafra land down for 1 month. We're going to lock it down 1 month, and we have been echoing and comparing on that. Number one question is that, do we still stand on that? Then number two is, because this question is synonymous, that's why I just want to throw it. Also, are we a kind of agreeing with them that is just to bring him out of the court, maybe take him back? Do our leader have his extraordinary rendition? In other words, he has nothing to do with the zoo court. It's just for them to return him. Why are we emphasizing on bringing him out? And let's say, because definitely they are going to adjourn the court on that day. If we will predict how zoo does it things, they will just adjourn it. Let's say, for example, they came out just in order to calm people down and brought him, and also kind of return back and adjourn it to, let's say, January or February. We will continue to be praying and waiting and all those things. Mazi, you have the mic.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, Michuko Kabiama, continue to protect, preserve our great leader, Mazi Nwachineke, a wonderful angel from heaven, sent down to defend these very, very great people of Biafra. Everybody has now seen that without our leader, a lot of things could go wrong, especially in the land of Biafra. That politicians are now somehow feel emboldened doing what they're doing, because they think that the person to somehow checkmate their ways is out of the way. But we're assuring them that he's not out of the way, that the structure of indigenous people of Biafra is built in such a way that the struggle continues. It continues in earnest. We continue to soldier on without any prevarication. And to your question, of course, what our great leader, Mazi HOD, in the person of Mazi Chikedozium said, it does hold. What he said does hold. What he said is what the people have said. Whatever he pronounced on the Radio Biafra with the holy microphone is what the DOS also do stand for. And I will assure you that, of course, everything he has said remains. If they fail to release our leader unconditionally and bring him out of the court and then do the needful, the indigenous people of Biafra will not take this lightly. We are going to forge ahead with whatever we have on our table, all the tools, all the necessary thing we need to do. We're going to deploy them. And as simple as that. They must release Onyendu Mazi Nwachineke unconditionally. He's not a citizen of the zoo. He doesn't belong there. He belongs to United Kingdom, where his citizenry does anchor. So he does not belong to the zoo, and therefore the process of his kidnapping must be reversed. It must be reversed, in fact, in such a way that they must also prove the fact that they are remorseful for what they did. They must pay back for what they did. They need to return him, reverse that very evil process that they actually rendered on our leader. That is what we're demanding for at this very point. And so, Mazi, the microphone will go back to you in case I've answered your question, Mazi.
Okay, you have answered it to assure Biafrans and the whole world that indeed we stand on that thing on our table, which our head of the directorate has mentioned, which is we must sit at home for 1 full month. Biafra land have to lock down. All right, what of in case they now play this game? You know, rumor is flying about. Let's say they bring him out and adjourn again. Let's say January, because it's always 2-3 months. Always 2-3 months. What should we continue with the same action, or is there any other thing? I know that there are many things on your table that may or may not be given to the public now. But in case whatever, if they do this one, do we have a different thing to offer as well? If it is something that is not supposed to say on air, of which we will not say, but it's just to give Biafrans assurance. Mazi.
Mazi, Biafrans must remain assured at all times and at all places that this very leadership is not going to leave any stone unturned to make sure that this very great leader on earth, not only a great leader in Africa, not only a great leader in this very hemisphere, he is the greatest leader in this universe, if you can agree with me. He must be released. And if they don't do that, we have all the tools, like I said before, on the table. They must take Biafrans very, very seriously at this point and even in the future. They must take us very seriously. That's all I can say to that. Whatever resources, whatever alternatives we have, they can be assured that we are blessed with alternatives. We are Biafrans. We are Biafrans. We don't lack. We are not lacking. And we are saying they must release him. As simple as that. That is just a simple thing to do. They have to do that. And if they want peace to reign, of course. And they do that, and then we'll see where we go from there. But definitely Biafrans must be rest assured that this very, very, very movement, this very, very great movement, these very people, hallowed people of Biafrans are not lacking. We are not lacking, and we do stand up to the occasion, and we are equal to the task. Thank you so much, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazi, for that assurance. I believe Biafrans are listening all over the world. Let me ask you this question again on my decks. Some people said that the negotiation is going on between IPOB and the zoo. Is such a thing true, or is it just rumor? I just got it. I just want to throw it to you. If it whatever, you clear it off. And how can negotiation be going on if it is true, and while our leader is still in their dungeon?
You see, whatever we have in terms of, whether it is legal negotiation or order, we have our representatives in that very arena who do have to work on behalf of the indigenous people of Biafra. We have our legal team working assiduously around the clock and ensuring that the needful is done. So I wouldn't go into the issue of negotiation for now. It is too premature to come up on air and talk about negotiation when we do have our regular consultations with our legal team working for us, and whenever we come that far in terms of if there's any negotiation, we will make it available to Biafrans. People should not hook onto rumors until it is pronounced on Radio Biafra officially. For now, they should be rest assured that we are represented and that our team are working assiduously around the clock. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazi. The essence of all this thing is to clear all these things, because these days our people are so much connected to what is called rumor. And I want to ask you another question regarding this rumor. I have received a lot. They said that our leader is no more in the DSS dungeon. He's somewhere, this, that, and all those things. I don't need to go detail into what that voice note said. But in my own understanding, based on how Zoo does their thing, I believe they are the one bringing up all these rumors, maybe in order to do something on 21st, to tell you, to pass the rumor around, then for him not to surface on court. I don't know whether you have heard it, but the rumor said that it's no more in the DSS dungeon. I don't know how you can clarify this thought from anyone who have heard it or who will hear it later.
Yes, I will advise Biafrans to avoid all hearsay. Hearsay has done a lot of damage. If not that this struggle is ordained in heaven, we wouldn't be where we are today because of rumors and hearsays and all sort of misleading information out there. That is why our leader beforehand made it clear that your place to receive information, your place to offer your listenership, your place to anchor is on the Radio Biafra International, Radio Biafra as you know it, Radio Biafra London. The very place where Mazi Obilo is operating from, where Alozi operate from, the same place where Mazi Jonathan operate from. All of you that broadcast there, that is where our leader said we should be listening. So any other place you collect any information is just at your own service. I don't know. We don't have anything like that. Our leader is still in the hands of this very evil jihadist. And we are working assiduously, like I said before, following the procedure and to make sure it's placed and quite on time. That's all I can say. There's nothing like he's being placed in any purgatory or whatever you can call it. He is in their hands. They must release him, and that is what it is. Any other thing is just a made-up and misleading fabrication. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Let's come to the issue of a radio. Some people are still talking that our relay stations are not functioning in some part of Biafra. Like somebody wrote me, Adugo, say from Bayelsa. He said, is Bayelsa not part of Biafra, that the radio is not working there? I don't know the assurance you can give to Biafrans regarding making sure that the process, the things DOS is doing to make sure that within a short time, all the whole Biafra land will be covered with our relay station.
Great thanks to that very question. Great thanks to the source. I usually dislike identifying different territory by virtue of names. On behalf of his constituency represents, and the entire land where he comes from, and stand like a man. That's what we want normally all those who call themselves representatives to be doing. If all have been doing the same, I'm not sure that this whole carnage would have gotten to this very, very level. But because the so-called intellectuals, because the evil governors, especially the so-called people who say that they sit on the seat of power, where security is in their hands, normally supposed to be in their hand. These very evil governors have lost it all. They have lost it all because sometimes you can say, okay, a politician as they are, as corrupt as they are, as we know them to be, that they could wanna, steal and steal, but somehow have a limitation of what they can do and what they cannot do, what they can allow and what they cannot allow. For them to have allowed the uncircumcised pedophiles, in the name of jihadists, descending our land, castrating our people, destroying lives and properties, decimating our people, obliterating lives at all levels, at all demography, including the children, including the babies, including pregnant women, including youths. We heard it from a commander on the field saying, kill anything that you see. What does he mean by kill anything that you see? Is it not recently that we heard from their spokesman of the army that said nobody should panic, that the people will be roaming about in our land? And how come the whole thing now shifted from don't panic into killing field, into genocide? Why are these governors not doing anything? Why are they there, for Christ's sake? And we are going to say only one simple thing, that they have lost it all and that they should wait for their own turn. As simple as that. You can't be raging the lives of people, rendering them useless, now turning our land into the land of a refugee. You could see our people carrying their baggages on their head. A picture we have never seen for decades are now reappearing, courtesy of these stupid governors, courtesy of these very evil doers sitting there serving their masters of the Fulani Caliphate. They are only there, they are sent there, they have been posted there to only serve their masters. They are blinded, they don't even know where they come from no more. If you ask them their names, they can't even tell you their names anymore. They have forgotten it all. All of them are Musa. They are there, and we're going to tell them that that place does not belong to them no more. They should vacate our land. They shouldn't be governors no more. We don't need them anymore. If they are there, and even worse than the Fulani people we're talking about, they are even the worst enemies we have than Fulanis as we speak today. These are these so-called governors. They are there raining carnage. They are there raining genocidal war against our people because they are the ones that invited them. It was not just only Python 1, it was Python 2, it was 3, it was 4. Now they are calling it whatever operation, the down peace or whatever down trouble. And these are courtesy of these very governors. They invited all this nonsense. We cannot forget him all. We cannot forget Abba's massacre. We cannot forget Iwacha massacre. Everywhere, massacre. Since this idiot Efulefus came to power, since they started reigning on that very seat, we only knew Mbakwe as the last governor that made any sense. We knew Michael Okpara of those days as last politician that made sense. Any of them that came afterwards had been going from fire to fry pan to fire. That's what I've been seeing here. And we are saying today enough is enough. But Biafrans must be assured. Biafrans, you must be assured that we are leaving no stone unturned to come back, to stand up and to claim our land. Our land is our land. We are going nowhere. The land belongs to us. We know they are clearing fields, they are clearing vicinities, they are clearing places for their Ruga. That's what they have come for. They do not come for any roaming about of our towns and our cities. They came to clear the land for Ruga. If the ESN could not allow the Fulani herdsmen to do it, they send down their soldiers to come and do it. That's what is going on. That's the truth of the matter. They want to clear our land for their Ruga. And they have a Ebonyi State governor who today, as we speak, is part of the committee of Ruga. The so-called Ruga project they have officially was announced by the federal government as a committee member. And now people should not wonder why he is taking the stance he is taking, the stand he is taking against his own people, selling out our land because of what he thinks he's going to get from his slave master. And this attitude, this servitude they are displaying are actually, going down not well for our people. This is at the detriment of our people. This is not going well for us. This is only eradicating the whole livelihood in our land. And the only thing we can do is to forge ahead, come together, all of us, all walks of life, clergies, all the traders, all the transporters, all of you at all walks of life in Biafra land. You must understand we are all affected. Nobody is exempted from this very carnage. Nobody is exempted from all these atrocities, all of us together. And therefore, when it is said on Radio Biafra, the next step to take, all of us will fall in line. We are going to take that next step. We have our HOD at any point in time will come on air and tell us the way forward. And all we have to do is to remain very much alert, remain attentive, to listen to Radio Biafra and listen to the next step of action. But be rest assured that we cannot vacate our land. Those carrying their luggages on their head, they must return back to the land of their people. They must come back to the land of ancestors. That land is not the land of Fulani. You cannot ransack our villages and our towns and killing our babies and our women and our youth and asking us to leave our land only for the Fulani to come occupy. No, whatever bullet you have, we are going to march it on. And as simple as that, our people must remain hopeful. The land is for us. The land is not for the enemies. It's not for the governors. Any governor that feels this, he has no other way out, should pack and go to Zungeru. You should pack and go to Zungeru and leave our land for us. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mazi. Still on this issue of Izombe, connecting to the potential one, I call it potential because that is how it comes. That's about to happen in Opala community, as I just read in the earlier of my broadcast, that such a thing is about to happen. Even the military themselves, we are warning the community indigenes that if they continue to chase the Fulani herdsmen, because what happens, I don't know whether you have read the story, but let me recap. Fulani took their cow to their farm and the people revolted against it, pushed them. On the process, a Fulani boy stabbed an indigene of Okpala, and there was a problem there. Definitely, they have to react. On before they say within few minutes, the military land in commando dress. They were, as the news we are sent to us in our desk. They dress in commando and they begin to warn the indigene. If you don't want, using Izombe as an example, as a reference, if you don't want such to happen, don't attack the Fulani. Why the Fulanis are bringing cow in their land? But I thought that open grazing had been cancelled. So we see that politicians are not ready to do anything. I don't know whether this Okpala is in Imo or is in Abia, because the two governors are still the same thing. But what I'm throwing to you, Mazi, how prepared are we in case if this one is about to happen? Because we will not keep quiet and be watching what happened in Izombe, maybe to repeat itself in Okpala, because people have to fight. You can't go to farm after under the sun, under the rain, and all the toiling, nobody assisted you. An idiot from somewhere bring cattle and come to destroy it, and you ask the people to keep quiet. Definitely they will revolt, and definitely they'll bring in their army. How prepared are we in case, as they have used it as use Izombe as a reference?
Yes, Mazi, this very fresh case is one other disturbing, incoming turbulence, and should be also tackled as such. I will only say that we are doing our best. You see, they started by trying to destabilize this very movement. They started to see whether they can somehow reduce the effect of ESN by sending those they sent to come and cause some headaches. But I can assure you that ESN is intact. Sorry, for that, they are going to do the needful. They are going to do the needful wherever they can render their services. It is very, very disturbing that these people have gone this far, that even what they sent down, the so-called troops they sent down, were to come and enforce Ruga. They are in our land to enforce Ruga, and not even because of just the election. They are there to enforce Ruga. That's what they are doing. That's why you see them in those areas, in those localities where there is much more prospect for Ruga. And I don't know which governors are responsible for that very the fresh area now marked out, whether it is Hopeless or Zodinjo, the one that has come to serve his masters perfectly well, the useful tool of the Fulani Caliphate, or whether it is the other governor. What they are trying to do is to use these soldiers, these very marauding soldiers, to effect what they're looking for. But be assured that we are, whatever frontier we found any challenges, we are going to do our best to make sure that we'll fight it off the way possible. I cannot tell you what plans we have in this very fresh case. We are going to study it. We are going to see what is there, and then come up with the effective strategy. That's what I can say. There's nothing on the table in terms of how to fight off the enemy that has to be dissected on air. Of course not. But one thing is sure, we must defend our land. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that intelligent answer. It's just to strengthen our people to know that indeed it's not going to be as usual or as they think, but as for us, that we are prepared. Thank you very much for that. And Mazi, I want to ask this question regarding the 21st court case. How, first of all, we thank our women for the protest they did in UK. It was wonderful, and we hope for such to be coming up, because apart from the legal teams, we need to be showing other ones. Like a place like Europe, how prepared are we to flood the entire, maybe wherever, with protests on that day? And also, I am asking, regarding, based on the experience we had on 2016 thereabout, of a protest that took place. Is it in Brazil, in Belgium, where they are headquarters of UN or thereabout, or the whole Biafrans camp there? Is there anything like that? I know that COVID is part of the things that factors that are militating it not to, but I believe it's reducing. Do we have anything like that on board? But for 21st, is there anything like such a protest that to let the world know, so that the people will say, why are they protesting? And they will tell them that there is something going on in the zoo, so that the eyes of people will go there. I don't know if there is any preparation of such.
Yes, Mazi. You see, our people in Biafra land must remain, indoors when it comes to things like that, because we want lives and properties to remain preserved. And those of them in diaspora, of course, it is expected that much actions are put out on the streets. It is expected that continental reps have taken this very, very monumental task upon themselves to ensure that all countries, wherever they are in their jurisdiction, are really gearing towards making sure that they have an effective protest on that day in the streets of the countries where their protections are very much guaranteed. And so that is the expectation. Sure, we must make sure that wherever even COVID, laws are getting weaker, the grip on the freedom of movement are getting quite easier. We expect that all those countries begin to now fall out on the streets and demonstrate very heavily, and very much with vigor, ensuring that the public, wherever they are, do understand what is going on in our land, do understand the very evil being perpetrated by the present jihadist government of the zoo, and let them understand what's happening. So we are going to do that. It's our tradition to ensure that this kind of presentations are done wherever we are, and that is what I do expect is going to happen. Yes, Mazi, that is supposed to happen. All continental reps, they have this on their table. It's an agenda. They have to make sure that all countries within their jurisdiction do organize themselves for that very day. That is the least we can do in diaspora. That is something we must do. It is upon our own shoulder to carry this very load. It is not a heavy load this time around. We are used to going out and demonstrating in diaspora, and we don't have any hurdle apart from COVID. But like I said, many countries, the freedom of gathering are already being, made easy. And that is what we expect every continental rep to ensure that is being done in their jurisdiction. Thank you very much, Mazi. Definitely, that is what we do look up to.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Now let's come to Anambra election. What is our stake on that? That's how I will throw it directly to you for more analysis.
On the issue of Anambra election, the indigenous people of Biafra officially have not come up with a pronouncement on air. Of course, if you ask me, we do wish what should happen instead of election should be referendum. These governors should be busy asking for referendum. They should understand the reality. It's not enough having all the monies and billions of dollars stealing from the people, rendering the lives of people totally useless, helpless, that people now don't have even, I'm sure people are going about the bushes looking for lizard. They might not say it. It is disgraceful. It's uneasy. It is embarrassing to come and tell you what they are eating. This is the level of poverty. This is the level of I will tell you, evil we have descended in. This is the hell on earth we're talking about. And these governors are pretending as if these things are not happening. People have fallen flat when it comes to poverty. I know the Fulani jihadists have been doing that strategically. They weakened our businesses. They weakened our economy. They attacked Ibeto. They attacked anybody that raises up with any business. They attacked his business. That's what they've been doing. But then what happens? What about the governors? What about the allocations? What about the billions of money sent to them? What are they doing with that? So it still boils down, on their own court. It boils down on their own court to the job of protecting the lives and properties still boils down on their own court. They have to do that. They have to carry it out, and they are the ones causing these very problems. And so the Anambra election is such a sensitive one, of course, that the pronouncement will come up, of course, about where we stand finally, because many things are involved strategically. We all know we don't want that election. Nobody wants it. Nobody from the leadership wants it. Nobody I know Biafran. I wonder any Biafran that say he wants that election. What we want these morons to do, I say morons because it's just what it is, just the simple truth. The truth is bitter. Any human being will act differently as from what these people are doing. You will act differently from what they act like a human being and not like an animal, isn't it? So, but we have a situation where the so-called leaders, if we can go and hire baboons and monkeys, I'm sure they will perform better. But by all indications, they will perform better. But we have it because even a baboon will try the best. Some animals can be greedy, fine. But at the end of the day, when they are satisfied, they leave the rest. Go and look at lion. The male lion, he will come, he will, pack the whole thing. And when he's satisfied, he leaves the rest for the rest, what other wants to eat. The same thing with the baboons. When they are satisfied, they leave the so-called alpha male. When they finish, they leave the rest for the others to eat. But we call these ones human beings. They will take everything. They will eat and get satisfied. Their generations will be satisfied. And they will still pack the rest and pack it away. Instead of to leave it for the people, they pack it to Igbo land and bank it up there. And what kind of human beings are these? So, in a nutshell, we don't believe in that election. As simple as that. And the right pronunciation will come at the time it will come. We don't believe in it. We believe in referendum at this very point. This very point, the right thing to do is referendum because that is just the simple reality. The reality is that we have been rejected in this very experiment called Nigeria, and it's been long. We have been rejected. We have been rejected in all. I don't have to start spelling out it all. Is it about the monies they have been borrowing? They count us out. Is it about the projects they have been carrying out? And instead of them to build any railway for you, they take it to Niger Republic, where Buhari comes from. Buhari is not from Nigeria. Everybody knows that. Only his mother is from Nigeria. His father is from Niger. That's why he's developing Niger. That's why he's building refineries for Niger. Because when he retires, he's going back to where he comes from. He will be visiting his mother's home, of course. So what they are doing is developing their other we come from. And the same resources from our backyard is from Abia State, where you call Abia State, is from the Ogoniland, is from Aguleri. It is from Imo. It is from where you have River State as well. So all these places are the ones producing the resources these people are lavishing. And upon that, they go and borrow. And they're borrowing on the head of everybody. That's why they're doing it. If it is only on the head of Fulani people, they will not do that. But they know that they're borrowing on the head of everybody. Even when the countries are now parted, now when the nations are parted from Nigeria, at the end of the day, there could be an arrangement where everybody has to pay his own quota to now settle the bill. So they are borrowing and telling us we're not part of it. But later they want to come and tell us we're part of it. We remember the palliative, where they went and borrowed and got a whole lot of things, both donations from international community. They said, oh, those of you from Southeast, you are not part of it. They'll tell you boldly, they'll just tell you open, and with every impunity. And you have these so-called politicians who cannot stand on a pulpit and speak out.
Nobody said you should go and stand now, have a fist fight or anything. Take up that microphone, group yourself together, have one voice, and condemn something. They will kill our women, they will rape them, nothing will happen. Nobody will say anything. But the worst of it all is that to let the enemies, let us try to somehow revenge a little bit. Your so-called politicians will now find their mouth. They will now find their know that there is a microphone to talk. Only how to attack the people. In Igbo language, you say, Onye meranyifa. Who did this thing to us? Who did this thing? We keep on asking and we don't know. I can only tell you maybe the devil alone, but they themselves will now see as the angels of the devil themselves. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much for your stake on this Anambra election. I know it's very, very sensitive, and there are a lot of things may not be time to air it. I want to, before I will ask the audience maybe one or two questions before I leave you, I would like to ask this question to you again. Before our leader was kidnapped, before he was kidnapped, there was this agreement between us and the Ambazonians. How effective is the DOS who are in charge of IPOB now? Are we maintaining that relationship with Ambazonia till now?
Yes, Mazi. The people of Ambazonian, much more our relatives. Yeah, I would say integral part of Biafra land. We are naturally related, as simple as that, and we have forged up a natural relationship based on our ancestral evidence and also genetical. And everything that you knew about our alliance remains intact. Everything remains intact. We continue to work together. We continue to have each other's back because the more friends you have, the better. That is what I can say to that. We must forge ahead together. Thank you very much, Mazi, on that very front.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before you go, to round it up to an hour, let me see if I will get one or two questions from the audience that are listening. In case you are listening, we want to call or you want to
What do? Woo! Josh! Now so. And I don't need to let you know before you know.
And Josh on the beat.
When you go to never show, they say hand on Lagos, country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come cure. When you go to gun show, hospital close. Everybody running, church shuts down. Professional doctors, Inter goes to they get on show for the big man house. Hospital nadago, facilities nadago, education nadago. Power supply na zero. Now go don't show for area. News headline don't talk. Say chief of staff don't carry. Say governors don't carry. Say ministers don't carry. Say senators don't carry. If you like president, you don't carry. But rich and poor suffer this thing. Hospital they no get. Facilities they no get. 9.1 billion for pocket. Professional doctors in goes to London hospital close borders. When you go to never show, they say he don't show. Say that a man in the Lagos country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come down. Just welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Animal City. I welcome to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Oh, Animal City. Welcome to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Welcome to Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Headache, worry, rich man go to America. But now we matter don't serious. America love ya again. Youth hospitals them say no. Train doctors them say no. Build a school them say no. Give us lights them say no. Security na zero. If poor man sick he go die here. Poor man no get him out. Poor man no fit talk. Poor man life na nonsense. Animals everywhere. Animals get a value. Get value pass human. Then send animals to carry gun. Animals shoot people. Animals kill people. Animals murder people. No value for human. When you go to never show, they say he don't show. Say that a man in the Lagos country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come cure. When you go to gun show, hospital close. Everybody running, church shuts down. Professional doctors, that goes to they get on show for the big man house. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Animal City. I welcome to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Oh, Animal City. Welcome to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Welcome to Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. That's up. It's
M. Josh on the beat.
When Guru never show, they say hand on show. Say it a man, in Lagos, country getting plenty doctors. When on show, hospital close, everybody running, church shuts down. Professional doctors, ain't that goes smooth. Make it on show for the big man house. Hospital nadago, facilities nadago, education nadago, power supply na zero. Now go don't show for area. Use headline don't talk. Say chief of staff don't carry. Say governors don't carry. Say ministers don't carry. Say senators don't carry. The president don't carry. For rich and poor, for the state, hospital facilities they no get. 9.2